that. So good morning everyone. Today we are going to discuss chapter 13 sound for class 8. So in chapter sound, first of all, I would like to tell you what is sound. With the term sound, we are very familiar with that low sound, high sound, right? But actually, what is the scientific definition of sound? So what we can say about sound? Sound is a form of energy. Sound is a form of energy which produces in us the sensation of hearing. So it is just a form of energy due to which we are able to hear the things. Like if any voice is there, we can hear with the help of sound because it's a form of energy which produces in us the sensation of hearing. Now, have you ever thought about what, when, and how the sound is produced, or what is the cause of sound? What we can say about this? So, about sound, if I talk, so you might have seen that a common example of cycle bell, the cycle bell which we are using. By cycling, we ring the bell. So, what happens with the bell? When we press that bell, then it produces sound. But when you will touch that bell with the another hand and then you will try to move it, then sound will be produced but very less in amount. Why does this so? I am speaking. If you are speaking something and you will touch your throat from that point, you can see or you can feel some vibrations, right? Even the school bell. When the PM rings the school bell, it produces a lot of sound. But when you will touch that school bell with another hand, then you will strike with the hammer, wooden hammer, that it will not produce any sound or very less amount of sound. Why it will so? Because of vibration. So what is the cause of sound? Cause of sound is vibration. So vibrations, we are very familiar with the vibration. Vibration is the to and fro motion of the object. If we keep our mobile on vibration mode, if you will keep it on the table, you can see the to and fro motion. It will vibrate and to and fro motion will be there in the mobile. So what is this? This is vibration, right? So cause of sound is vibration. If the vibrations will not be less, then the less amount of sound will be there, right? Okay. So sound produced by the vibrating body. You might have seen there are so many examples when you will keep a piece of paper. When you will keep a piece of paper. Abhinav, can you mute your camera? Its recording is going on. So, cause of sound, you might have seen that turning fork in some vehicles. This kind of instrument you might have seen. If you can see here. So, this is the turning fork. It is a U-shaped single steel piece with a handle. The two arms of the turning fork are called prongs. So, these are the prongs. Right? So, these are the prongs. So, what is this turning fork? So, this is producing vibrations and the sound can be heard about this, right? So this all sound is produced due to vibration. Now the very important thing, that how sound travels. We are able to hear sound, right? But how the sound from one point reaches to us sitting several meters away from that, it's here. Like here is the source of sound, right? Here is the source, and on this side, here is the listener. Listener. source and listener. And we know that there are a lot of air molecules present in the atmosphere. So let us consider few of them, air molecules like this. They are present between the source and the listener. Let it number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm just taking an example. So, what will happen and how the sound from the source will reach to the listener? So, what happens actually whenever the sound is produced? We know that the cause of sound is the vibrations. So, when the sound will be produced from the source, the vibrations will be there. Due to these vibrations, when the sound energy will be there, the vibration will be there, then these vibrations will strike the first particle. Then the first particle will get the energy after coming in contact with these vibrations. So then it will start vibrating also on this position. During its vibration, it will strike with the second molecule and it will transfer its energy to the second molecule. And this is elastic in nature. That means whenever it will strike with the second particle, then it will come back to its initial position, that is the first one. Then the second particle will come in motion, then it will strike with the third and come back to its initial position. Now this process will keep on repeating until or unless the sound is not reaching to the listener, right? So this is the way that how sound travels from the source to the listener. Listen again. First particle, there is a source of sound and there is a listener. So whenever the sound is moving from the source to the listener, in the air I am talking about, there are a number of molecules, air molecules present in the atmosphere. When this source will producing sound, and we have already discussed that sound is produced due to vibrations. So when the vibrations will be there, these vibrations will collide with the first particle. Then the first particle will comes in motion. Then this first particle, after coming in motion, it will strike with the second one. When it will strike with the second particle, it will transfer its energy to the second particle. And this collision is elastic. Collision means that they are striking or colliding with each other. In the higher classes, you will study in class 11 about elastic collision. So, this collision is elastic in nature. Like when we will stretch an elastic and release it, it will come back to its initial position. Same way, when the first particle will strike with the second particle, then it will, after striking, it will come back to its initial position. And then the second particle will start vibrating. During its vibration, it will also strike with the third one and then come back to its initial position. From third to fourth to fifth to sixth, seventh, eighth. This way the sound will move as there are air particles present between source and listener. Right? Very important thing, like solid, liquid and gases. From here it's very clear that the particles are required for the movement of the sound, but in vacuum, if I talk about vacuum, means there are no particles. So that means if there are no particles, there will be no movement of sound. So what we can say, children, we can say that sound cannot travel through vacuum, right? Sound needs a medium to travel from one point to another. So what are these medium? Solid, liquid and gas. Now let me tell you about solid, liquid and gas. If we talk about solids, let this is one solid. These are the arrangement of particles or molecules you can see in solids, right? These are solids. Now if we talk about liquids, these are liquids. If we talk about gas, now see the arrangement of molecules. On the basis of arrangement of molecules in solids, the particles are closely packed, tightly packed with each other. There is very less space between them. In liquids, the particles are having appropriate space as compared to solid. That means less space than gases, but more space than solids, right? So in liquids, the particles are arranged like this, but in gases, there is a lot of space. So what we conclude from that, the particles, closer the particles, it will be easier for the sound to travel. So what we can conclude from these three figures, that in solids, the particles are close to each other, tightly packed, due to which sound can travel very easily in the solids, or sound travels fastest in solids. In liquids, particles are having little bit of space, so they will need time to moving from one point and striking with the second and then coming back to its initial position. So due to this, the sound travel in liquid slower than solids. But in case of gases, if I say in gases, there is a lot of space between these particles, and so sound cannot travel easily. It will take a lot of time to travel from one point to another, right? So these are the general cases of, and we can say if we take a long tube, iron pipe, and if we will knock at one point, the sound very fastly will move to the another corner, right? Even a very common example, if the train is coming on the railway tracks, and you know that you want to check if you will keep your ear near the railway track or within contact with the railway track, so you will be able to hear the vibrations or the sound of the train. Even though these are solids, but we can get the sound. But in the air, if the whistle will be there of the train, we are not able to hear. Right? So these are the reasons on which we can explain that sound move fastest in solids, slower in liquids, and slowest in gases. Right? So dear children, this is all about the definition of sound, the cause of sound, and the propagation of sound. Right? For the next topic, we will meet in next lecture. Thank you.